Great stuff, grade fives. So I think this is the easiest way to just show you the work. So you have done length in grade 3 and definitely in grade 4. So I'm not too stressed that any of you do not know what's going on. When I did this with the grade 4s 2 weeks ago, I explained it to them in so much detail. But because you did this last year, I'm not so stressed. So just go through the maths ideas. We're going to estimate, measure, compare, and order lengths. Check, estimate by measuring. Read and write lengths in kilometers, meters, and centimeters. That's something very important that we need to remember. Convert between different units and solve problems. So this is what the chapter is all about. Stuff that you know: a ruler, a measuring tape, and a trundle wheel. Okay? We know that a ruler is measured in centimeters and millimeters. We know that from grade 3 and grade 4. Also a measuring tape. And then a trundle wheel is something different that basically just measures meters. I wish we still had one. This is very old school. But in the past, if you roll it, I think you know how it works. You can also Google a trundle wheel for yourself and then watch the YouTube video. If you roll it, then it makes a click after 1 meter. Especially when you're measuring fields for running and netball and soccer fields and stuff like that. In the olden days, they would walk because a soccer field has a specific distance and size. So you would walk and then you would measure it, because there's not a measuring tape that's long enough. But anyway, so the main thing we're focusing on is millimeters. You know how to write it: mm, centimeters, meters, and kilometers. So there's 4 different units in measuring length. In the American system, which is called the imperial system, they obviously use yards and feet and miles and stuff like that. You don't need to worry about that. Only in grade 10, 11, and 12 will you need to convert between how many centimeters is the same as a yard or how many miles is a kilometer, but we don't worry about that. You can use your ruler to measure short lengths. It is useful to estimate your length at first. We don't really have to estimate. I know it's very important, but I don't like estimation. But you can do the questions what they ask. So what I ask you to do is use the example in the book and then just do your own measuring over there. I want to see where my measuring tape is. I know I used to have one around here somewhere. Let me just quickly see if I can grab it. I've got so much nonsense lying around. I know it's in this little case somewhere. Just want to get it out. Should have taken it out way earlier, obviously. And if the fingers will work in this cold. Okay, so here's the measuring tape. I will roll it out for you. So then you can see this is the same as a ruler. Okay, so 1 centimeter, 2 centimeter, 3 centimeters. So if I want to measure, for example, the distance of this, the length of the width of this book. So you will put it nicely there on the side. I just want to do the page and then make it nice and straight. And then you will see that it's 22 centimeters. Okay, or 220 millimeters. So you can use your measuring tape, you can use your ruler. Those are the things that you have at home. So read the examples, and then you're going to do exercise 3.1. The first part is super duper easy. Choose the best unit of measurement. So for the classroom, the door, the soccer field, from Cape Town to Durban, the length of my arm, which unit are you going to use? Millimeters, centimeters, meters, or kilometers? Then number 2, look at these lines. There they are. Estimate the lines. So let me take number A, for example. I'm going to estimate, I guess that's about 4 centimeters. Then number B, they say measure the length. So I'm going to take it and I'm going to put it nice and straight, but you can use your ruler. I don't have a nice ruler, so I'm going to use the measuring tape. Put it nicely on the side, see there, just like with the ruler, and then keep it straight. And then you will see that it's at 6, basically, at 6 centimeters. So my estimation was a little bit off, but anyway, you get the idea. Then at number C, they say order the lengths from shortest to longest. We did this last week with capacity. So all you have to do is just put them from shortest to longest. There is only 4 of them, so it won't take too long. Then this, I know you can't all do this that well, but you can try and remember, because remember, we're estimating. They say estimate the length of your classroom. So try and think back. How long is the classroom width and the breadth and the length? Estimate the length of the board in your classroom. Now remember, we've got 2, a big one and a small one. I can give you a hint. The small one is exactly 1 meter by 1 meter. Estimate the length of the school building. Interesting. Estimate the width of one of the windows in your classroom. Okay, or you can even take your room. So if I'm going to take this room that I'm sitting in, I can just show you. Okay, there's that. There's the roof, so you can try and see how high is the room. And then I can maybe go to the curtains and see how long is it from the one side to the other. So there's lots of things that you can do as well, just to get your mind going with different lengths. Okay? And then number 4, use a meter stick. We don't have that. We are going to use measuring tape to measure each of the objects in question 3. Okay, so that's the one that you can't do. That's why I say, if you are struggling to do number 4, maybe think of something else. Maybe say, I am guessing the width of the TV is 60 centimeters, and then take your measuring tape and actually measure it. So for number 4, you do not have to obviously measure the stuff in the class, because if we were at school, I would have given you a nice big measuring tape and we would have actually measured the stuff ourselves together as a class. But unfortunately, we cannot do that now. So we will have to make another plan. Take the fridge. How high is the fridge from the floor? The height of the fridge. Estimate it and then go and measure it. Okay, so that's a super duper easy one. Then on page 72, convert units of length. This is the same as what we did last week with capacity. Luckily, it's very similar, because like there is milliliters in liters, there's also millimeters in meters. So it's very similar. The only difference is we add the centimeters. And we should all know by now that 10 millimeters goes into 1 centimeter, but also 100 centimeters goes into 1 meter, and then 1,000 meters goes into 1 kilometer. Also, what we know is that 1,000 millimeters goes into a meter. Okay, so this is fun. I will send you maybe a little chart that you can see the conversions. Then you can also just read through the example. There's 1 and there's 2. And all they ask you to do is convert. So 780 millimeter is how many centimeters? And the grade 4s also did this the other day, so it wasn't too difficult. I'm sure you should be able to manage. But if you are stuck, remember, you can send me a private message at any time. So that's that. That's all we're doing today. We're stopping on page 72, exercise 13.2. Okay, good luck, grade 5s. I will speak with you later.